welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. In just a moment, I am headed out the door to check out the new movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. That's right, guys, a Looney Tunes movie. Did any of you know that a Looney Tunes movie was coming out? Anyways, this film tells the story of Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, and they get let go from the bubblegum plant because while they're at work one day, they uncover an alien invasion. So now it's up to Daffy Duck and Porky Pig to save the world before it blew up. So anyways, guys, this film comes to us from, strangely enough, Ketchup Entertainment, not Warner Brothers. Yeah, Ketchup Entertainment is actually releasing this movie, which I find really strange. Nothing against the fine people over at Ketchup Entertainment. I haven't seen this movie yet, so I don't know if it's good or bad. But anyways, it's just strange to me that Warner Brothers is handing out such a big IP to a third-party production company. I mean, this is Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig. These are some of the biggest animated icons, that, besides Disney. To me, this is almost like Disney themselves calling up Bleecker Street going, hey, you guys want to make a Mickey Mouse movie? Let's see how that works out. It just seems really strange that Warner Brothers keeps just handing out IPs to third parties to check, to do something with it. And then they also start canceling movies that are their own IPs, like Batgirl, Coyote versus Acme. I mean, all these movies. I don't understand what their plan is here, but anyways, I'm not a big brain movie producer, am I? Ho. But you know what? It's enough of me sitting here yammering on. It is time for me to get out the door because I need to go see The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Welcome back, just getting home from The Day the Earth Blew Up. And guys, I had a blast with this film. I don't think I stopped smiling throughout the entire film. Just a big old grin on my face from beginning to end. So let's get this started, shall we? Let's get things started with negatives, then move into the positives to end the video on the ever so important high note. Okay, negative-wise, I really don't have anything negative necessarily to say, but I will say that this movie does bring in a specific sense of humor. Now, this is not one of those animated movies that is 100% just aimed towards a younger audience, and it's not one of those movies that sneaks in some mom and dad jokes that the kids aren't going to understand. There might have been a couple of them, but all in all, this movie is just a breath of fresh air when it comes to animated films. Everything about this movie just took me back to a simpler time. Just going back and watching good old-fashioned Looney Tunes. But it also has a sensibility for today's audience. There is a lot of that really spastic random humor that Gen Alpha is really a big fan of. But it works well because it's Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. I mean, that's their whole shtick. Straight guy, goofy guy. That's what they've always been like. So those two combined together to bring in a more modern audience work out great. But if you're not a fan of that silly, goofy humor, then you're probably not going to find yourself laughing as much as I did throughout this movie. So not necessarily negatives, just basically saying that certain sense of humors are probably going to enjoy this movie a little bit more than others. So let's just go right into those positives. The first thing I want to talk about is the animation style in this film. This movie goes for a hand-drawn 2D fashion, and let me tell you guys, it was so nice to be able to see a Western hand-drawn animated film on the big screen. And it also keeps with that same Looney Tunes Tex Avery style that we're familiar with. They didn't try to go out of the box. They didn't try to change the formula. Catch-up entertainment stuck right with the good old-fashioned look of the Warner Brothers animated cartoons, and I absolutely loved it. The voice acting in this film is outstanding. It was so nice to go see an animated film in theaters that wasn't, and I'm not sitting there listening to Jack Black and Chris Pratt for the first time in God knows how long. We had actual cartoon voice actors. I was not sitting there going, oh, is that so-and-so? Is that Alec Baldwin? Oh my gosh, I can't believe Alec Baldwin's the boss baby. I wasn't doing that. I was listening to Penelope Pig, to Porky Pig, and to Daffy Duck, like cartoon characters, and it was so much fun. The jokes, in my opinion, absolutely land. If you're a fan of the good old-fashioned Looney Tune cartoons, this film goes through all sorts of different types of humor. There's witty retort, there's some great jokes. As I said, there's one or two of those going over the kids' heads jokes, but in all honesty, there wasn't a lot of that stuff. And of course, good old-fashioned slapstick, the type of stuff that you would expect from a movie like this. And it is loaded with it. Yes, there's some great little one-liners and some banter between our main characters, but mostly this film just does really well at being a nostalgic, back-to-basics animated film starring iconic characters. And I do not understand what is going on with Warner Brothers right now. It seems like they're really focused on just keeping their hands on certain IPs like The Lord of the Rings and putting out an animated film. Now, I didn't review it, I didn't hear anything bad about it. I'm not throwing shade at that film. I'm just saying, it just seems like Warner Brothers is more interested into holding on to these IPs than making anything new out of them. This was a great opportunity for Warner Brothers to bring in a new generation to watch the Looney Tunes, but they handed it off to a third party and it didn't get promoted, and I do not think enough people are going to really get out there and see this film. I'm just hoping that this movie can break even in theaters, and I really hope that there's more films like this coming down the aisle, because to be perfectly honest, this was so much fun for someone like me to be able to go back in time and relive those super fun cartoons that I remember as a kid. It made me really wish, guys, that my kids weren't adults and all. I wish I would have had some little kids with me so I could have been like, look, this is what I watched on cartoons when I was a kid, and I really hope that you can see the fun and adventure that I saw in these cartoons. So you know what, guys, this is a solid get out there, see this movie in theaters. Please support this film. Try to get out there and keep this movie going, because this is the kind of animated stuff that we need in theaters for families or just for fans of fun animated films, especially here in the West. We just do not have 2D animated films that look this freaking good. It was colorful, the fluid movement, everything was outstanding. It looked like something that you would see on TV, but it had the elevation of a theatrical film. So yes, get out there, support this film. Ketchup Entertainment, you did an excellent job. Warner Brothers, what the hell are you doing? Stop worrying about Harry Potter and your amusement parks or whatever else you guys are worrying about. What is it? Are you guys Six Flags? I can't remember. But make good movies, for God's sake. Stop worrying about all your streaming services and all this other reality show crap. Make films like this. Get families back into theaters. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.